Hi, welcome back. So the topic of today's video is going to be a May energetic forecast. I have 3 different piles here. And if you come from my Instagram account, this is how I'm deciding to do my pick a cards from now on, just because I'm getting tired of writing them out. So yeah, go ahead and pick between pile 1, which is the green apophyllite, pile 2, which is a blue hemimorphite, and pile 3, which is a pink tourmaline. And let's get started. So for pile 1, okay, so right upon connecting to your energy, I'm seeing almost like a seedling trying to grow through and push through a layer of dried earth or pavement, or it could be a layer of both dried earth and pavement. It seems like you may think what you're trying to accomplish is impossible, or you may never get there. But again, these are all limitations that you're putting on yourself. It helps if I hold it. The color I connected to a lot for your pile is a lot of indigo. So this is about your third eye. There's a lot of like sadness or pain that you're trying to, that's kind of like stagnant in your third eye, and there's like a need to like release that heaviness and release that burden. And it could, like, you may be in your head a lot, like imagining things that really aren't there a lot. But it would be nice to acknowledge any pain that you may have, because a lot of that pain feels like it's hardening up, and it's nice to have it soften up, if that makes sense, and allow it to kind of go through you. The dried earth that I keep seeing in the pavement, again, you may see them as obstacles, but and again, it's a perspective thing, but I see it much more as it takes time to cultivate what you're trying to cultivate. There's also a lot of sense of having to nourish the self, having to probably like remove what is not nourishing to you and replace it with what is nourishing, to lean into what nourishes you. I was going to say something else. You guys may also feel a little bit hardened. This is the month my guidance for you is to find a way to soften up in your heart, soften up emotionally. But I'm curious as to like what the limitations are, because I see you're trying to cultivate something, you're trying to grow something, but it seems like you have such an end result in sight, and sometimes that feels impossible because there's a lot of steps to get there along the way. So part of the guidance here too is to cultivate like a sense of gratitude for the days, for each day that you have. Be proud of yourself for what you accomplish in each day. But let's see. Okay, so we have, with the Margaret Peterson Tarot, I have your 2 main cards. Okay, here we go. So we have the 5 of Coins. That makes sense. I'm not surprised. And the Death card reversed. So definitely May is a month where you're having to come face to face with what makes you feel abandoned, or, I think that, or what I'm seeing is that anything that may feel limiting, or anything that may feel like didn't go your way, or that, may have, there's a sense of having, every time I'm starting to see this card, and especially for you guys, there's a sense of seeing like coming to the source of abandonment issues, or like what makes you feel abandoned, what makes you feel out of the cold, or tossed into the cold in that sense. There is a stubbornness at play here of having to make things go your way instead of allowing things to be flexible and allowing yourself to become adaptable. And there's also but there's like a grief. You may have lost something. Either you've lost something recently, or you're going through some sort of a loss in May. But you have to let this go. You have to revisit what needs to go in order for you to release it. Again, this is it's interesting because everything I said earlier really rings true here. Let's see. Death card in reverse. There's also a sense of needing to take ownership of something, whether it's ownership of your feelings. Maybe also have to release something that isn't just working for you, and it's just creating that pavement. And I feel a lot of it's emotional, like it has a very emotional like base to it. But let's see these cards. So we have the Hierophant, the Page of Cups, the Three of Wands, and the Page of Pentacles. I want to say, May, you'll definitely be working with someone like a mentor or a guide. This feels much more career oriented than anything, but there is a lot of like emotional underlying issues at play here. And so this is a month where you're really going to be focusing on what really drives you when it comes to your purpose, to career. Much importantly, like allowing yourself to be involved in something, or allowing yourself to feel, I was going to say something and the word slipped my mind, but there's also like this is the month of beginnings too. Whether you realize it or not. But I think, again, there's a sense of like what it is that you want to accomplish is so far away, and it can feel overwhelming too. If there's a lot of adjustments they need to make, I would be adaptable with it. I would release any hardness or stiffness or stubbornness or anything like that. But I'm seeing like more specifically, like, again, career stuff. So if you've been let go, or if you've recently been unemployed, or something unfairly happened where you are cast out or to the side or anything like that, this is going to be a month where you're going to, pick yourself up, create new ideas, or like, have an innocence of what you want to accomplish and to go forward with it. There is a lot of adventurous spirit here, nomadic spirit here. You could also be thinking about working remotely and seeing how you can tend to this need to kind of go beyond your limitations or beyond the space that you're currently in. But this is a lot of like new energy. Let me see. Let's see what else. You could also be working with a recruiter, or even like a spiritual mentor, or someone that helps you a lot. That's how the Hierophant is really coming through to me for you guys. Someone that's going to help you recognize and see your talents and your traits. But I'm seeing a lot of, like, again, a lot of inner work at the same time. This is going to be a very productive month when it comes to, like, spiritual work, or spiritual growth. But you may not see the progress that you want to see when it comes to your career, because I don't think it'll come right away. I think you have to acknowledge where you're at. Let me see. Hold on. The flower that's really coming through for you guys is a daffodil. And whenever I connect to daffodils, to me, it's about, it's exactly that image or that vision I got of the seedling going through cracks or through pavement or through dried earth. It's the daffodil to me speaks of like glory. It speaks of going through obstacles. It speaks of optimism. It speaks of willpower and determination. So these are things that you possibly have to cultivate and work on in May, or you will be. Yeah, something like there was something that you lost out in May or earlier. It could be earlier, it could have been in April, or it's going to be in May, but there's a feeling of uncertainty and unease. with the Four of Earth in reverse. This is a feeling of like kind of grasping at straws. You may have to be more strategic too and be more patient with yourself with what it is that you want to do. Okay, bottom of the deck, by the way, is the Seven of Wind, Seven of Swords. So you could have been like, again, it feels like cut out, cheated out, but something career more than anything. Then we have the that's so interesting. You have the Five of Earth again, but this time it's reversed. I think that's amazing though, because what I'm seeing is that when I'm seeing it reversed is I'm seeing a recovery. Like I'm seeing progress. I'm seeing like you coming out of this. We have the Seven of Earth in reverse and the Nine of Water in reverse. And I am, these all happen to be reversed, but that's okay. Yeah, you have to really be strong in May. It's going to be a month of like licking wounds or recovering your heart. And this is a month to really focus on your heart and your root chakras. And you may also have to be more mindful as to who you surround yourself with or who you choose to do business with. And it's not that everyone is going to have, well, some people don't have integrity. And if that's the case, you shouldn't work with them. But also it's about like, do your morals align? Do you know what I mean? Like, because sometimes the person may not be the best for you. It doesn't mean they're a bad person. It just means that y'all's intentions weren't really aligned, or y'all's like standards or ethics or whatever wasn't really aligned, and that's okay. Yeah, this is like a really introspective month. I would be, there's a sense of impatience here, but again, you have to cultivate that sense of patience. And again, if something just isn't working for you, it's time to move on to something that is working for you. I think you're going to start to be more decisive too, and more, again, determined. But, with the Nine of Water in reverse, it's interesting because, again, I'm connecting to that. Let me get a clarifier for that card. Ooh, that fell out. Yeah, I mean, I was gonna, Temperance reverse. So again, my advice for you in this month is to really focus on your own happiness as opposed to like other people or what other people have and you don't, or anything in that sense. But it feels a little bit unfair as to what happened to you. And so that's to the side. Let me pull one card for you from the Woodland Wardens, and then I'm trying to see what oracle decks I want to use. Oops, I'm trying not to reverse shuffle this. There's a lot to learn from what happened too. Strength. That's your energy for May. It's cultivating a lot of strength. You have the Elk and Ash. That willpower for you to move forward and to decide on what it is that you want to do, and to feel included, and yeah, I mean, it's kind of redundant, but it's okay. So I'm going to keep this here. Trying to think what oracle deck I want to use. But if I use one, I want to use it for all of them. So we have the Mother Mary Oracle, and then we have the Mary Magdalene Oracle. Let me use one from the Mother Mary Oracle, just for like, kind of like, you know, guidance. It may feel upsetting, but it's only temporary, right? Oh, okay, you have Our Lady of Manifest Miracles. Let me just also get one from the Magdalene Oracle, just because I'm using both, or just because I have both of them out. This is about really having to believe in yourself, even if others don't. Believe in your ideas, to believe in your mission, maybe to even like make up a mission, or to create like a mission for yourself. We have the Lovers. This is about feeling like what you believe in is worthy enough. You know what I mean? This is about like, and again, it could most definitely be like a relationship issue where you got broken up with. I really don't see that. I see this much more as something pertaining to careers. This is about having to feel like adored and accepted into the world. But I think in order for you to do that, first you have to learn how to accept yourself and to really believe in yourself. And again, it goes back to that any core issues of abandonment, or anywhere where you feel abandoned. This is a great time to really dissect that, and to really uproot things that don't need to be there. This is a great area to like work in. And I think if you start to do that, it'll really help shift things in like the right direction, in the healthiest direction. But let me see. Our Lady of Manifest Miracles. I'm just going to read it a little bit. Love seeks to manifest through you as you. It is not only your spirit that is to be blessed by love, but your body and your life too. You're meant to live a reality of divine love. You're meant to experience the presence of the divine in everyday life. Your spiritual practice, or your spiritual life and material existence, are not destined to be separate, but rather to be united, enhancing each other, infusing each other with love and sacred relationship. My miracles are not limited to the world of spirit. They manifest in the material world as signs that divine love is alive in a here and now. Will you be a willing channel for my miraculous manifestations? Yeah, this is your task, is to become a sacred vessel through which the miracles of the Mother can be made manifest. This is about having courage to just go after what it is that you want, you know? Yeah, I mean, I feel really redundant at this point, but let me put this aside. But yeah, let me plop these up one more time. I think a great, and this is, I think, also showing that a great way to counteract this feeling of not having, this feeling of lack, this feeling of abandonment, is to make yourself feel lovable, to make yourself feel accepted in this world, like you have the right to have a space in this world. And that you can manifest. This is a great day to start, this is a great month to actually start manifesting and practicing it, or having fun with it. To start wanting to, create beauty in this world and have it come through you. So that's what I'm getting for May. I hope this resonated. I hope this was helpful. I feel like it wasn't specific enough, or it didn't hit like specific parts, but I mean, that's okay. Also, I'm seeing like, be open to people entering your life. Be open to that. Be open to creating new relationships. Don't cast people aside. Don't become judgmental of people, or because again, there is a harshness that you're kind of working through at the moment. Or like a rigidity that you're kind of working through in the moment. But that's what I have for you guys. Hopefully this was helpful. And where is my little selenite? Because If something falls on the floor, I don't want to, you know. That's what I have for pile 1. Pile 2, if you pick the blue Himeimerphyte, let me connect to this a little bit more. There's a sense of, I mean, I kind of wish I picked different stones, but there's a sense of wanting to be a little bit more at peace with something, or wanting to be at peace with what it is that you create. There's a little bit of creative energy coming through. So you may, be an artist or writer, an illustrator, something to that extent, like a creator, a creative person, but there's a sense of either you may feel like it's not good enough, or there's like a sense of having to be at peace with it, or if you've been struggling with like finding your voice, or like being very certain of your voice, this is coming through. There's like, I'm also connecting a lot to mint. So mint feels like a purifier for me, but it's also like a mental purifier. You know what I mean? Like if you've been feeling really anxious or overworked. But let's see. These are going to be your main focal energy for the month of May. So we have the 5 of Cups and Justice. What is going on? What went on in April? What's going on in May? I mentioned in the other pile that I saw May as being like a really reflective, introspective month. So it's going to feel really slow. What do you feel wronged in, or you feel like you weren't able to speak your voice, or you speak your mind in? But May is definitely going to be a month where you're going to be working through any feelings of grief, loss, and it's interesting that Justice came out because this is kind of a stone of peace, blue Himeimerphyte. And Justice is also a major arcana, so it's going to be a really significant theme for you. It's interesting because like some of the guidance I'm getting is that although you may feel like you're not in control of the situation, or you feel like you've been wronged or anything in that sense, there's a sense of doing what's right by you. There's a sense of whatever is right by you to do it. Things will start to balance themselves out. I think the more you become at peace with yourself, the more things will also balance themselves out as well. And I think there's a lot of areas for you to really see a lot of, gain a lot of wisdom and knowledge from it. I'm also seeing, like, for example, like there's an example coming through, and it may be important for you. Like if there's a contract where you feel like it's not right, this is a great month to really renegotiate that contract and to set it right for you. There's a sense of having to be paid your just due as well. I'm also seeing like a divorce or a separation, but it involves like some sort of money or obligations. Make sure that you're being respected, or you may have to seek out a lawyer or anything like that. I kind of felt like reading this, and I forgot that she actually wrote poems. So it says, Ma'at, goddess of justice, weighing the hearts, a force daring to meet the shadows of the underworld. She who relentlessly examines the souls sprawled out before her, the karmic law of cause and effect, a lively process ensuring balance. It's a sense of balance, right? Let's see what else you have. This is the 9, I think this is the 9 of Wands. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. This is the 9 of Wands in reverse. This is the 9 of Swords. Oh no, the 6 of Earth in reverse and a Page of Wands. Something isn't fair. It's not financially fair. It'll kind of, like, I'm not gonna lie, it's gonna have an effect on you for the month of May. It's something that you're going to really be anxious about, overworked about. But you have to, with the Nine of Wands, you're going to feel comfortable to start speaking your mind about it and to almost like start to learn how to trust again. But something wasn't financially fair for you, or it won't be financially fair for you in May. Let me see if we can get any more clarity on what this is. I'm not really good at timing. I did specifically set this intention to be like for the month of May, but sometimes things happen like right before May, or you know, like timing is such, and I think that's why I tell myself I'm not good at timing. It's almost like too many hands trying to grab into one pot, and I don't know what this means, but it could be too many people asking you for things from you and not really giving you stuff in return, or not being reciprocative, or not being like, you know, a good friend. It could be like a very one-sided friendship that's turned into something very financial, or it could be a friend that you're doing too much for, but it's not being reciprocated. It's not being respected. You're not getting like your means paid for. And it's interesting that your month ends with the Page of Wands, because I'm seeing this as being like a really good learning lesson for you, and where you're going to start to step up and be much more assertive with your boundaries, and because I see you being really soft-spoken, and I can see that definitely changing towards the end of the month. This is definitely like a month of, I'm seeing like a triangle, so that's like my symbol for growth. I'm asking what this is about. This is an argument. This is something definitely not going your way. Something closing off to you. Yeah. Almost like maybe like people ganging up on you. Or feeling like the odds are against you, or something to that extent. But there's a lot of fire energy here at play, and it may have been really stressful as well too. But I see this as like divine intervention, because I don't think it was meant for you. It's almost like you're getting saved from possibly embarking on like something that could have been a lot worse later on. So I would consider this to be a blessing in disguise, whatever this is. But this is definitely something that just, it feels like closed off for you. Again, I'm getting like a friendship dynamic here. I'm getting like a work contract dynamic here. I'm getting like also the creative aspect where like, you know, you're not being compensated appropriately or fairly. And it feels like you against a group of people, you against an enterprise, maybe you against like a friend that has a lot more support than you do. But this is meant to invoke a lot of whoops. This is meant to invoke a lot of power and strength within you, and to create a lot of like change, and for it to be drastic change too. Excuse me. Let's see. Let's get. I'm using the Woodland Wardens Oracle. Let me get one card. If you're not aware as to what this is, I feel like it's in the back of your head. You're like, nah, this can't be it. It'll become much more prominent in May, to where you're gonna have to do something about it. Like the situation's gonna arise. It could be a confrontation too. We have the Frog and Lotus, which is Metamorphosis. Let me get one more. You have curiosity, the raccoon and sycamore. This is going to be like a change, like a turning of tides for you as well. It's interesting because when I saw the raccoon and the sycamore, I'm seeing this as the other people. I'm seeing it as people really infringing on something, infringing on your privacy, infringing on boundaries, infringing on resources, something to that extent. I'm also seeing this as you starting to see other options, starting to see like what else could be out there for you. Again, starting to see beyond limitations of the situation. I'm starting to see that May is going to be an interesting month that really plays on change through perceived limitations, just so far from the readings that I'm connecting to. But let's also connect to, for the other pile, I picked an oracle card from both the Mary Magdalene Oracle, but also the Mother Mary. So you have the real you, interesting. And let me get one from the Mother Mary. There's also like, what are you sacrificing for other people? Because that's coming through too. You may have also like lost yourself in the process of whatever the situation was. So, but yeah, there's like through it all, finding strength in like who you are. 5, 4, 3, 2. Through it all, finding strength in who you are and really connecting to your authenticity and to what it is that you want to do. And if your talents aren't being appreciated here, or whatever it is that you are, who you are, what you offer isn't being appreciated, it's time for you to appreciate it and to put those people aside. The real you, this card speaks a lot about connecting to your heart and your heart's desires. And it's also gives the message of like, if you've allow money to get in the way, or if you've reached some level of success, it's really easy to lose yourself and lose like your true essence. And this is about connecting to yourself again. You have like a really soft-spoken, like creative, unique side of you that really wants to be expressed and to be put through into the world. And there's also like a sense of coming to peace with something, maybe finding a sense of inner peace to help with this loss or this grief or something, painful that you may be. Oh, okay. We have Our Lady of Starting Over. I think that's such a beautiful message, to be honest. There's a sense of like, you don't need these people. You don't need these people. Let me read I've been reading from that book for everyone, from the Mother Mary Oracle. Soon it will be time to leave something behind you. I know that you may grieve this loss, even when you know deep within that this is the best to let it go. Allow me to nourish you with the courage you need and the realization that this change is happening so that you can flourish and thrive. Your growth serves the growth of others too. You shall not cause loss or harm to that which you are releasing. All moves in my grace. Surrender your fear and doubt and trust in my unconditional loving grace for all beings. Grace is interesting. Grace is grace is the energy of, it's like allowing movement to happen through you. I don't know how to like describe grace. I think if you want to build a relationship with the vibration of grace, with the presence of grace, I think that would be really beneficial for you, because when you allow grace to move through you, there's like a kahuna I follow, and I think he says something to the extent of grace is like your life and movement in poetry. It's the flow. So yeah, I think there's a sense of also, if you pick this pile, attempting to do something independently, attempting to like create like some project independently. without other people, without like, you know, there's whatever was around you that had to go. Without that, it could even be like a romantic partner that wasn't supportive of your dreams, of your ambitions, and you have to let that go. Let me see what else I can connect to once this card passes. Give me 1 minute. This is also a moment, this is going to be a month of self-discovery, of really connecting to your true self and your true nature. And I'm also seeing the guidance for you to maybe remove distractions that can really alter your sense of self, if that makes sense. So if you listen to too much distractions, too much music, you know, too much TV, too much, you know, you see what's trending, allow yourself to step away from that to really start to connect to like who you are. And I think there's a lot of to be discovered with this, you know, journey of self-discovery. I'm also seeing you like collecting like little flowers into a basket. So take this like little by little, day by day. There's a lot of like wisdom to be picked up every day for you guys in the month of May. But May is definitely going to be a really like crown and throat chakra energy month for you guys. A lot of connecting to divinity, connecting to your higher self, and connecting to your expression, your sense of truth, your peace. But again, it may be painful with the 5 of Cups, right? But towards the end, it won't be so much, right? So that's what I have for you guys if you picked pile 2, the blue Hemimorphite. And thank you so much for watching. And let me go to pile 3. Pile 3, you guys want to be heard. There's a bulldozing type of energy that you guys have that I could see and hear, like as I was, you know, putting the other pile away. There is like a force and tenacity that you guys will have in the month of May. This is almost like standing up for yourself and standing up for others. You may be doing something humanitarian, like there's like a be bold, do bold type of energy. You could be a person of little words but significant action that's coming through. But you want to be heard and you want to be recognized. And I like that. That's something that's going to play a lot in the month of May for you guys. So let's see. The Margaret Peterson Tarot is going to be your main energy for the month of May. So we have the Moon reverse and the 9 of Cups reverse. That's so interesting. Okay. Yeah, this is going to be a very confrontational month. I think there's a lot on your mind and in your heart that you just want to express. And there's a sense of like, you don't care who you'll offend. You don't care who you're going to be stepping over. If there's been things that are making you unhappy, you're going to start to really boldly start to say it. You're going to start pursuing what makes you happy and being really upfront and direct with yourself too. And I think this, like, definitely May is going to be a month where you stop doing things for other people too. It's a really like empowering month as well. Let's see what else you have. You have the Knight of Pentacles in reverse. You have the 7 of Earth, a lot of 7s coming through. You have the Empress in reverse, and you have the 8 of Cups. This is you walking away, of course, with the 8 of Cups. Walking away also from that, which it's very general, but it's almost like really starting to see and being honest with yourself as to like what's growing in your life and what's not. What's making you feel like there's a sense of you needing to be in control, and you're not really finding that in your life right now. And there's a sense of maybe even like not being allowed into certain spaces. This is really a month also for people to like really start to find like the spaces they belong to, or even start to create the spaces that they want to see in the world. but it's going to be like you emotionally also leaving things behind, leaving people behind, circumstances behind that just aren't reciprocating like what you need. There's a sense of like you, like, again, not feeling in control, feeling at loss about something. Okay. You want to feel in control. You want to, again, there's a sense of like you want to be seen, you want to be heard. There's a real sense of sovereignty coming through here, but there's a sense also of love. This is much more about love and your heart's desires than anything else. And it could encompass everything else in your life, but at the seat of it, at the throne of it, is your heart, your passion, your divine love. You're like, I am worthy for love and I want to see it reciprocated. And I'm tired of coming with situations, jobs, people. This feels very much people oriented as well, where you don't see it reflective, right? And you need to. So let's see. I'm asking what else is going to happen. It's going to happen in May for pile 3. Yes. Okay. We have, this has been coming out for other people too. This is the 4 of Earth in reverse. This is, again, remember what I said about not feeling in control, not feeling empowered. You need things to be stabilized and they're not. And I think you're also tired of trying to hold on to things that like don't want you back. Oh, this is challenging. We have the 8 of Wind. That's the 8 of Swords. We have the Page of Earth in reverse. And the Ace of Wands in reverse. Man, May something else, really, for the collective. May is something else. Hey, I mean, I wouldn't see this as like something bad either, because you're, you know, it's like what, not everything's for you, you know. Yeah, I'm seeing like the mental anguish though, the mental obstacles at play here. But this isn't going to be forever, you know, because with the moon reverse, you're almost like loosening up this constraints that you have on yourself and your mind. This sense of like, I'm not good enough too is also coming through. So finding what makes you, like knowing that you are enough is something that's going to come through. Again, this is going to be something not working out for you, but that's okay. I think what you really want is to cultivate like healthy love. I can see this as like a really short-term relationship coming to an end as well. But it's going to be something different for everyone, right? Because this is a general reading. And I think it's going to be really reflective in other areas in your life, but most significantly, it's going to be in relationships, whether like love or familial, you know. It could be like family members that just don't love you back, and you're going to, you know, wake up to it and start to move past it and say that I'm tired of trying. Like, it's time to put myself first and to stabilize myself and to create what I want. But this is going to be a great month for you to create that foundation, you know what I mean, in your life. Let's use the Woodland Wardens as let's see what your energy is going to be like in the month of May. This is going to be really about 5, 4. This is going to be a month about believing in yourself too. I connected to like a black and blue butterfly. And to me, that's about, again, speaking up, speaking your voice. But it's a lot about change and transformation. And there's a sense of empowerment coming through. This is a very transformative month. I think it's going to be really fast too for you internally. And towards the end of the month, you're going to see yourself in like a new light. We have the Cayman and Poppy, which is dreams. I'm also seeing that someone may have promised you something, and that promise is not going to be fulfilled, and that's going to be your last straw. And then you also have Deceit, Coyote, and Datura. Yeah. So it sucks, but this was the wake-up call that you needed. This is also about being honest with yourself too, and I think there's a lot of strength that comes through that. Do you know what I mean? But you're gonna start believing in yourself a lot more in order to create what it is that you want to create. This is about living for yourself. You've lived for a lot of other people. Now it's time to step in and live for yourself. Let me get final oracle cards from the Mother Mary and Mary Magdalene oracle. Put this aside. Let's do this first from the, let me put this aside. I'm seeing, like, this is going to sound silly, but I'm seeing guidance is really also to take deep breaths in the month of May, to really think things thoroughly, to not, like, become, like, impulsive, you know? So you also have gratitude. That's your one card from there. And then let's do one card from the Mother Mary Oracle. I love this. Our Lady of Creative Choices. And I think that's exactly what you're going to be doing. Gratitude is interesting too, because, I mean, there's not much to say about that except really be grateful and adopt a pattern of, gratitude where it comes naturally to you. But let's see Our Lady of Creative Choice. You have my power within you, and you are free beyond wildest imagination. Do you know that you are a slave to no thing and to no one? You are a divine being. With the power of creative choice, you can create worlds, my beloved. Even the smallest choice contains great power, great creative power. Do not cast your power aside, my child. Choose to trust me, to live with an open, vulnerable heart, and to let my grace flood through you in rapturous waves of light. Choose wisely, creatively, and well, yet do not fear your power, for the best choice you can make is to learn from all your experiences. I will guide you to use your power to create healing difference in your life right now. You have at your disposal the power of heaven. I will guide you to use it as well. So this is about, no matter how powerless you may feel, or however you may feel like, things are not at your end, or other people have a lot more control in your life. This is about calling back your power and wonderfully creating the life that you want to create, and knowing that you can create this, right? To really trust yourself, and to, again, I love how it says, do not fear your power, it says you have the power of heaven within you. You don't need to control life. You can, you can choose whether you dance with life responsibly or resist its flow and feel pushed around by it instead. This is about being really in your moment, in the present, with how you're feeling, and to make the conscious choices to live life the way that you should and you deserve to live. You know what I mean? And I think that's why the gratitude card came up. I think it's going to really make this transition really effortlessly as well. So I hope this resonated for you, and thank you so much for watching.